Smiling Jimmy Lester.
If I had one word to describe Jim Lester, it'd be passionate.
I grew up in the Birmingham area, graduated from Maryville College in Tennessee with my bachelor's degree, and at Maryville I played football and baseball and sang in the concert choir. I taught, my first teaching position was at Earlham College in Richmond, Indiana, and I was also coaching football and baseball. And then the arthritis hit me, and the doctor suggested that I move southwest, and that's what prompted the move to Kansas. I think they were probably meaning for me to go to Arizona or New Mexico, but jobs broke in Kansas, and I'm just very, very glad that it did. So I taught science for 36 years, all of the years that I was in Goddard.
I was teaching 6th grade science, and one of the main things I learned from Jim is he would always engage his students with telling stories that would relate to the curriculum. I remember one of the favorite stories he would always tell his kids is he had horses when he was a kid, and he forgot to give the horse water, and he kept giving it hay and hay and hay, and finally the horse was getting sick because it had to go to the bathroom, and he had to actually give an enema to the horse because it was so backed up, and he said he never forgot to give the horse water after that. But of course he did it in his way that could really get the kids literally in stitches the way he told it. But we were talking about the digestive system, and so we would find stories like that would relate. But those are some of the things, just the way he connected with kids is something that really, really rubbed off on me.
My whole idea was I wanted them to want to come to science class. So I told stories, I told jokes, most of them were stupid. I had some sound effects that I could make with my mouth, and luckily I didn't spit on anybody, but every now and then I spit on myself, and they thought that was pretty good.
Actually, my kids had Jim as a science teacher, and we would so many times at the dinner table hear, Mr. Lester said, which I knew then the impact he was making on my kids.
Jim's classroom was next door to mine, and so obviously he was the first guy I met with always a handshake, very old school, respectful. Every step and every word was full of integrity. The teacher that I wanted to be, he was really inspirational and was a real mentor for me.
As a student looking back, I'm a teacher now, but when I was a student looking back, this man, he had like an absolute passion for what he was doing. And to have that every single year, I mean, that's just very rare, you know.
My first coaching job was as a 7th grade basketball coach, and then I was involved in high school volleyball, and that was a complete and total learning experience for me. I was able to be the head baseball coach at Goddard High School for a while.
So Jim had an impression and had an influence on people in many different avenues and many different places in Goddard. Was involved in athletics, and beyond that, he was the original voice of the Lions. He was everywhere.
I mean, he did everything. I used to work track meets when he was the voice of the track meets, and he could do all the different events. So track, football, basketball. He would plan his whole year on the calendar. It's like, I'd ask him if we're gonna do something. He said, nope, it might be a JV event. He said, no, I'm committed to doing that.
There was something pretty cool about hearing his voice behind me during a game. It made me think we were on ESPN.
I really, really enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching them compete. I enjoyed watching them play.
Jim was a talented singer. A lot of people didn't know he was a singer. He sang in his church. He sang national anthems at several places.
For 23, 24 years, I was director for a camp at the Cosmosphere. I've met 3 of the guys that walked on the moon. I've met more of the astronauts that I got to watch launch into space when I was growing up.
Yeah, in fact, when I was teaching 6th grade, I went to space camp, and he helped me get into that. So I went for a weekend. Not only we send kids there, but I went there as a teacher. He still sends things today about what's going on with NASA. That we can share with our students.
You are this week's winner of our Golden Apple Award for Teaching Excellence. Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. I think all the students that have gone through his class are better people because of Jim. His love for his family, his love for his job. Jim showed up every day just ready to go, ready to have some fun, and ready to tell stories and ready to teach science to those kids.
I wouldn't trade moving to Goddard, moving to Kansas. When I retired and we had that recognition on the last day of school, Jess Herbig asked the people in the auditorium to stand up if they had me for class, or if they had students that had me for class, or something like that. And it was, I thought, oh yeah, you know, I knew about several of them, but it was 2/3 of the room, I think. You just never know who you're gonna affect.